Have you ever wondered if you're a German citizen by descent? Or maybe you are of another European descent and you're wondering if you qualify for dual citizenship? Today we're going to help you figure out how to find out.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Andrew.
And we are The Richness of Being. If you're new here, welcome. We are an American family planning on moving to France in the year of 2026. My great-grandparents on my father's side immigrated from Germany to the US in 1923.
For Germany, there isn't a generational limit, but if your ancestor immigrated before 1904, they likely lost their citizenship due to a 10-year residency rule.
So the German Citizenship Act is a rule that states if your ancestor immigrated before 1904, that they automatically lose German citizenship after living in a new country for 10 years. It's still worth looking into if this is the case for you, but it is also very likely that you do not qualify. There's more information about this on the German Mission's website, and we'll link that in the description below.
There's lots of other things to consider, such as birth dates, marriage and legitimacy, and of course, German citizenship law. The laws are complicated and we're not experts, but we hope that sharing our process with you will help you figure out if you might be eligible as well.
Yeah. If your parents, grandparents, or great-grandparents were German citizens at the time of your birth, then you may qualify for German citizenship. For example, this means I qualify because my great-grandfather did not naturalize, or in other words, become a US citizen before my grandfather's birth.
You may also qualify for citizenship in Germany if your ancestors lost their citizenship due to Nazi persecution from 1933 to 1945. Now, if you've gotten this far in the video and you haven't heard anything that automatically disqualifies you, follow these next steps to find out for sure.
Step 1. Fill out the questionnaire that's linked below. Be as detailed as possible. To do this, I ended up paying for about 2 months of ancestry and my heritage to dig into my family history. You're going to need specific dates. You also will need to know exactly when your ancestors immigrated and if they ever naturalized. I started with the free version on Ancestry and My Heritage, but very quickly that just was not enough. There's so much that comes up in the paid version, and you really will need to find out where these documents are so that later on you can order certified copies of them, if possible. The two websites also have very different information and different documents, so I recommend using both.
In order to apply for your passport later, you're going to need original and certified copies of the documents that you find. So make sure you keep track of where you found those documents so you know where to order the copies from later. Step 2, on the questionnaire, it'll say what documents you need to have together. You will want to scan those and email them with the questionnaire.
All right, the next thing you're going to want to do after you have filled out your questionnaire and you have the documents that they specify on that questionnaire, then you're going to want to email that to your consulate. When you email it, you are going to want to just say, I'm interested in finding out if I qualify for citizenship by descent. Everyone that I emailed and got to talk to at the consulate was very helpful. They want to help you figure out what you need to figure out, but they are very busy. So keep your email short.
The consulate will let you know if they have additional questions or if you need to submit additional documentation.
Right. So step 4, you are going to need to email your consulate for your state. Unfortunately, you can't just email any German consulate in the US. You have to work with the one that is specifically for your state. To find out which one it is, you can use the consulate finder on the German Mission website, and the link is in the description.
We're located in Washington, so our nearest official consulate is in San Francisco. Fortunately, we do have a honorary consulate in Seattle, but they act as a bit more of a middleman and they can't process everything that the San Francisco official consulate can process.
Or general consulate.
General consulate.
The big consulates are the general consulates. There are honorary consulates, which are smaller, but like he said, they act as a middleman. You can go to those and they will basically notarize your documents. They will also take your completed applications and send those to the general consulate, but they can't actually process your application and give you your passport or anything like that. So the other possible option you have is that if another family member is applying with you, then you could potentially go through, and they live in another state, you could potentially go through their consulate. So in my case, my dad wanted to apply for his passport as well. So I was not only emailing San Francisco, but also Houston because he lives in Texas. The Houston consulate was very quick to respond to my emails. They would get back to me in a day or two. San Francisco was not so quick. They took about 6 months just to respond to my first email.
Some consulates process applications for more states than others. It just depends on where they're located and how many states that consulate is assigned to. So some of them are busier than others. San Francisco is one of the busier ones. In our experience, Houston seemed to be less busy.
So being able to get an appointment or respond to your emails will really vary from consulate to consulate. I will say, be persistent. If you don't hear back from the consulate in about 2 weeks, then just email again to follow up. Do this every 2 weeks, and I have heard from other people that that makes a huge difference. So just be persistent. Houston consulate was actually the one to confirm that my daughter and I qualify for citizenship by descent.
Okay, last thing. German citizenship law is complicated. It's not easy or quick. If you have a complicated family history, it might be very difficult to determine whether or not you qualify for citizenship by descent. Your consulate might recommend that you apply for Festalung, which basically means that you will need to fill out an application and send all of your documents to the German BBA.
They are a central service provider of the federal government of Germany. This is what I ended up needing to do for my application and my daughter's application as well. Processing time for Festalung ends up being 2 to 2.5 years. Now, we'll talk more about Festalung in another video, so if this is something you end up needing to do, just keep an eye out for that video. Okay, so that is what you need to do to find out if you qualify for German citizenship by descent. It's very easy to get overwhelmed by the process. It feels kind of like a labyrinth, getting through the maze, but just try to take it one step at a time. And if this is something you really want to do, don't let your overwhelm get the best of you, because it is possible to find out. And hopefully this video will help you get started. Please like and subscribe and post any questions you have below. We are not experts by any means, but we'll do our best to try to answer your questions. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.